Here's 5 fantastic Baccarat strategies you'll want to take to the table to help increase your winnings. They're simple to learn, and when mastered properly, they can have a dramatic effect on your bankroll. My personal favourite is at the end, but I've seen many players use all these with great success. Baccarat is one of the best games to play at the casino for many reasons. It's arguably the simplest game to play and has one of the lowest house edges, which makes it ideal to implement a well thought out betting strategy. Now, none of these strategies are guaranteed ways to win. With gambling, there's always risk, but having a strong game plan will bring home the money far more often than going in blind. The third strategy is one that I see people playing wrong all the time. It's the Fibonacci sequence. There's a couple of ways you can use this divine sequence on the Baccarat table. If you're unfamiliar with the Fibonacci sequence, it's created by adding the previous 2 numbers together, and it looks like this: 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, and so on. And we can use these numbers as our bet amount. We simply follow the sequence, increasing our bet after every loss. After a winning bet, you can take one of 2 options. The safer option is to move back 2 places on the sequence. For example, if you had lost 4 bets in a row, your 5th bet would be $5. After winning this bet, you move back 2 places and your next bet is $2. This way of playing the Fibonacci sequence reduces your chances of your bets getting too big as you move back down the sequence. However, this is a slower way to win money. The second way to implement the Fibonacci sequence at the Baccarat table is to attempt to win 2 bets at the same level and then reset completely back to the start of the sequence. When winning 2 bets in a row, you will have guaranteed a profit for that sequence, but of course it comes with extra risk. If you find yourself in a situation when you can't seem to win 2 hands in a row, your bet can quickly get out of control. Casinos have implemented clever rules to minimise the effectiveness of this strategy, one of them being the table limit ratios. They will cap the maximum bet you're able to place lower than the amount you need to bet in order to complete the sequence. You'll need to find a good Baccarat table with great table limit ratios to play the Fibonacci sequence effectively. If you'd like help finding the best Baccarat table for you, you can take the quick 2-minute quiz using the link in the description. The Labouchere system. In this method, you pick a desired amount of profit and then split that into a series of smaller numbers. For example, let's say we want to win $50. We would create a list of 10 lots of 5. Then you take the first and last number in this series and add them together, and then stake that amount on your hand. So we would have 5 plus 5 equals 10, meaning a $10 bet. If the bet wins, you take the numbers you used out of the sequence and do the same thing with the new numbers at either end. But if you lose, you add the amount you staked to the end of the sequence and start again. By the time we cross off all of our numbers, we will have made our desired profit of $50. This one can get a bit fiddly, and you'll need a pen and paper to cross off the numbers on the series. Or, if you're playing online, you can download the free spreadsheet in the Discord that will make this job easy for you. The next strategy is the Labouchere system, and this one is really clever, because even if you win and lose the same amount of bets, following the Labouchere system, you will make money. It's also very simple to play, but again, I see the majority of people playing it wrong. Here's how it works and the mistake you need to avoid. After a winning hand, you need to decrease your bet by 1 unit. After a losing hand, you need to increase your next bet by 1 unit. The mistake many players make is that they start their bet at just 1 unit. If your starting bet is $5 and you win that hand, then you can't reduce your bet by $5. Essentially, you stop the power of the Labouchere system in its tracks. I would recommend having your starting bet around 5 times your unit size. That would mean, in our example of $5 units, our starting bet would be $25. This gives us a nice little cushion. If we were to go on a lucky winning streak, we can still reduce our bets by $5 each time. Before revealing my personal favourite Baccarat strategy, it's worth mentioning the most popular and famous system. It can be super effective to make some quick money, but be warned, this is a risky strategy as your bets can get exceptionally big when you hit a run of bad luck. I'm of course talking about the Martingale method. This classic betting strategy has you doubling your stake every time you lose a hand until you win. After winning, you return to your original stake and start over. The idea is that by doubling your stake after each loss, when you eventually do win, you'll recuperate all of your previous losses. While this obviously isn't a great idea with some games, for a game like Baccarat where the house edge is small and your chance of winning is essentially 50-50, you can get some real mileage with it and make some quick money. Similar to the Fibonacci sequence, you'll need to find a Baccarat table with good table limit ratios that will allow you to increase your bet big enough to recoup your losses. Take the quick 2-minute quiz in the description to find the best table for you. Now for my favourite strategy that I have the most success with. Regulars on the channel won't be surprised to hear it's the Oscars grind. The Oscars grind does have its downsides. As the name suggests, it can be a long grind to make money, but if you're patient and don't get exceptionally unlucky, this strategy works like a charm. Unlike most systems, the Oscars grind increases bets after a win, not a loss, making it safer during losing streaks. You start by betting 1 unit, for example $10. Your goal is to make $10 profit and then reset. If you win the first hand, you've hit your goal and you start over. If you lose, keep betting the same amount until you win. After a win, increase your next bet by 1 unit. You keep doing this until you reach the $10 profit target. A key rule that makes the Oscars grind so powerful is that when you're close to your goal, reduce your bet to exactly what's needed to hit that $10 target. This smart step separates winners from losers. If you'd like to see how these strategies perform against each other, you can check out this video next. If you're trying these out for yourself, make sure you're playing at a good Baccarat table by taking the quiz in the description.